Inner reflection, the journey to winter solstice 2024. Let's get this in, okay? So make sure you don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification so that I'll come up into your feed. So what is this about this inner reflection? Going into this winter solstice, okay? Inner reflection is an aspect of us that we all need to take time and look into. So as I was preparing for this to share with you, I'm coming into my own inner reflection, moving into this winter solstice. And this winter solstice, from my experience from 2023, a full 4 seasons now into winter solstice 2024. And so I've closed out some sections of my life that was lingering from several seasons, and it has now come to a close. So as you reflect over this winter from 2023, now getting into winter of 2024, keep in mind we have these seasons every year. What has come to you, or what has come to an end in your life? What has come to an end into your life? Journalists, make sure you take notes, because I'm going to be pulling some oracle cards for us to look into what else the spirit guides have to share. So what has come to an end in your life this past year? Okay, has it been divorce, separation from a relationship that you thought that would last? Any new relationships that still is uncertain, okay, or certain? Relationships come into our lives. Some are new, some are old. Sometimes they revisit us from the past. Cycles in our life, sometimes those cycles bring back new people into our life, or old people that are part of who we are once were, to maybe shed some light in our areas. Maybe they were repurposed to come to reset and recycle into your life for a lesson that's included. So lots of times, as people of love, those that don't need to be on an island, we either go through with our relationships, divorce, separation, having children, our fur babies, death, rebirth, recycle of the life, the purpose of life, and then taking us into an inner aspect to looking into how do we feel, so that we don't keep redoing the same thing over and over again, or if you haven't checked within yourself to see if you did some healing. All right. Another area is, did you understand what was happening in your relationships? Have you, or do you understand what was happening in your relationships? Okay. What was going on? Journal, look into it. What was going on? Or did you ignore signs of growth or obstacles? Okay, did you ignore them, or did you pay attention to them, so that way you're growing from them? Or did you continuously stay in an emotional state of trauma in yourself, of not growing from pain that has once happened to you, or possibly didn't know that was something that was still an injury into yourself that you still needed to do work on for yourself? Other people can't do that for you. You have to do that for you. You can contact me for your personalized readings, or talk sessions with me to work through those aspects, to get clarity as you move through this winter solstice and moving into the beginning of 2025 as a collective. But we honor, it depends on if you honor it in January, or do you honor it with going into a full circle of 4 seasons, which starts in spring equinox of 2025. Let me know which part do you start your year in. However, that is an important aspect of you. And so, did you ignore the signs? Did you grow? All right. Did you see the obstacles, or did you just get wham and the obstacle came and you just got off course, or didn't know your course for your emotional aspect in relationships? Are you, or do you have good friends right now, or children? Did you set aside time to listen to them or to talk to them? Lots of times people are going through life, or were you going through life? I won't say people in general, but were you going through life and not really being attentive or listening to others, maybe taking cues from your friends or your parents or good friends or your children? Children come with good understanding and knowledge. Did you take cues from them, or did you not listen? Let me know. Okay, did you not listen, or were you tentative? That's been one of my daily goal settings with my habits of every day. I write a journal and I do a daily writing, and that was one of my areas that I wrote as one of my topics. How do I focus on my family? What was I focusing on my family? How was I focusing on my family? I can't remember exactly my titles because sometimes they change week to week, but I wrote, what was my focus for my family? And one of the things that I focused on was, am I listening? Am I being attentive to what they're saying to me? Or is it going over my head or in one ear and not the other, and not really honoring the conversation? So that's something that you could put a journal prompt to yourself going into this winter solstice and into the new seasons of your life. How are you being attentive? Are you listening? Not just taking texts or, drive-by conversations, texting, not feeling the emotions of the conversation, but listening. And then allowing others to listen to you. That reciprocal conversation that is not in a conversation of being defensive. Those are things that bring up into the winter solstice and in a reflection. Are you defensive conversation, or are you a conversator where it's going back and forth with listening or taking time for you to hear and then giving time for them to hear? Are you focused and tuned in with watching their eyes and body language? Body language explains a whole lot. This is why texting and all these things are slighted, because when you're talking to someone, they do a lot more with their body language more than anything to understand. And are they shutting down, or are they listening? So this is something about inner reflection as well. Did you heal from your childhood, your child development aspect, your young adulthood or adulthood, or wherever you may be? Those are some areas: young child, early development, young adulthood, and adulthood. Because there's many phases. Every phase is a new phase. But did you heal? Did you take time to look at it? Were there a prompt from somebody that put that trigger? You know how you get that butterfly in your body? You're like, oh, I know that feeling before. Where did that come from? Well, did you take time to think of it, and then did you heal from it? Or are you rehashing things over and over again and not growing? Because inner reflection is all about growth and not stagnation. All right? Did you let go of what wasn't for you anyway? Did you let go? Okay? Or was it willing for you to let go of these areas in your life? Did you take ownership? A lot of questions. So you want a journalist. Did you take ownership of your own mistakes? This is another very deep conversation within your owning your own stuff. Okay? Your own mistakes. We make them, they're little ones, big ones, whoppers. Have you acknowledged them? This is how you get clear of mistakes, is acknowledging them. Did you do some corrections? Coming into this inner reflection, I'm hearing about your credit. Did you take time to look at your bills? Did you take time to do a spending plan to see where it was going out and coming in? Sometimes you could be overspending in inner reflection because compensating of poverty mindset or lack of money experience that you may have had. Have you had and make mistakes in a prison system Or do you have a background problem that you haven't taken time to correct, making some mistakes in your life? Okay, reflection lets us know which ones do we need to work on, which mistakes is ours and which mistakes maybe was from someone else that was placed into our life, and did we clarify them to fix them? Okay, how did you grow or change from endings, or did you accept the endings? Very pinnacle question. How did you grow from the change? Did you accept endings this past 4 seasons, or did you grow from them, change from them, or did you accept the endings? Lots of times people have a very difficult time, and including myself, with endings. You know, sometimes endings is for your best. It's to clear out that season so that way it no longer is a part of you. Okay, and that's part of relationships, making decisions, money making decisions, job changes, career changes, purchases of where you live. Are you living in the place that you're supposed to be living in? Or are you holding on? You know, so inner reflection is an important time. So I'm going to pull some cards, the Oracle deck, and see what else that Divine wants to confirm for you in this inner reflection for this week. Stay tuned to the channel, because each week up into this winter solstice, this is a continual message that can last for a lifetime up into the winter solstice that comes in on December the 21st. That way you're, get ready for each week for it to come in. All right. Don't forget to contact me as well for readings, talk sessions, and so much more. If you hear the running around, that's Carmel and Ruby. That's our guinea pig babies that's in here. So you'll hear them in this office space at home. So what's the cards for many of us today? Fog, veiled, fog. Interesting. I'm going to talk about that. And fire, passion in this inner reflection. And the other one is earth magic. All right. So this veil, fog. Now in this inner reflection, sometimes things may feel a little foggy. It may not come through as clear because you have to take time to write it down. Fogginess, brain fog, mental fog can also be a part of being where you haven't healed yourself to think clearly when there's about relationships, because maybe you haven't really learned how to deal with being clear in relationships, or being clear in your mind, or allowing other people, other things to dictate how a relationship should look like to you. But you have your own way, a way your relationships will look. You are individual. You have your own blueprint. Your relationships will look the way that it would look for your spiritual journey. So you want to make sure that you get clear. All right. And then we have passion, fire. All right. So right now in this winter solstice energy, we are in a fire zodiac overseer sign of Sagittarius. So with this passion, inner reflection is passion of who and what and why, what you should look at in your reflection with fire in it, not passive, icy energy, but with fire for change, and knowing that it's okay to accept endings or fulfillment. Okay. And then last but not least, earth magic. Now this has a lot to do with taking time to get out and bring in some evergreen energy into your home, maybe a pine, smells, different things like that. Getting outdoors, whatever weather it is for you, and collecting some of the energy and bringing it in and adding it into your home so that way it's earthy. And then also maybe adding a clear crystal quartz into it so that way you're connecting with earth and your spirit guides and angels. The clear crystal will help to clear out energies for yourself and so much more. Okay, and you can program it for yourself. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Take notes. Let me know what area that you needed to look at. Stay tuned for more. And don't forget the website as well at https://crisispsychic.com. Connect me there. Connect with me for your readings, talk sessions, ritual work, so much more, and inner reflection.